And welcome to part 23 of my F1 Road to Glory career mode. It is time for part 23 today, the start of season 2, the Australian Grand Prix then here down under. We've got 1000 resource points to spend though. Can we get any good upgrades on here? Well, I guess we've got to try and get the rear downforce on the car ASAP, and then we're going to aim to get this big tyre wear upgrade on as well as soon as possible here. But it's time then for qualifying down under. If you did miss last episode, we went through, all the driving moves. It was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Went through all the driving moves and all the, important bits and bobs here. But it's time then for Australia. I'm going to mute guys, and I'll see you after qualifying. Let's go then for the Australian Grand Prix. Okay then, on the run up to the line then, we're going to be P16 for the Australian Grand Prix. Yeah, I'm really happy with that lap, to be fair. The car felt okay. I'm just sliding around a little bit at the rear, but yeah, all good. Um, just look at this top three though. Perez in a Mercedes, Hamilton in a Red Bull, and Bottas in a Renault. Leclerc, his teammate as well, in the Renault. You have Vettel and Ricciardo at Ferrari, Verstappen still at Red Bull, Hulkenberg in the other Mercedes, Albon at Alfa Romeo. What else we got? That's a bit of a shocker there. Giovinazzi obviously still at Racing Point. Lance Stroll Racing Point as well still. But yeah, 1.5 seconds then off the pace. But Russell outqualified Stroll and Grosjean, so that's pretty positive, I'd say, going into this one. But yeah, Perez 2.5 tenths then ahead of Hamilton in his first qualifying for Mercedes there. So yeah, an interesting qualifying. Renault seem to have a really strong car again this year, which I mean, they didn't really have a great car the whole way through last year, and then it was the last 5 races they just seemed to just switch something on there, and the car went from like second worst to third best in like the matter of like 5 races. Um, yeah, good start then. We're saving our resource points to get this ultimate tyre wear upgrade. That'll be the final tyre wear upgrade. That will help us massively. Then we're, I think, going to move on to maxing out the power upgrades. I think will be good after that one. But yeah, nice qualifying though. Let's get into the Grand Prix. 15 laps, I believe, of the Australian Grand Prix, if I remember correctly. I think it is 15 laps. So yeah, no, looking forward to this one now. We're P16. Oh, we got a Ferrari in front of us. A Ferrari then has taken grid penalties. Don't say that's Daniel Ricciardo in his home Grand Prix. We'll see here, but it is Daniel Ricciardo then in his home Grand Prix. When the 5 red lights go out, we'll be racing. And we are underway here at Australia then. First race of season 2 here. We get a pretty decent start, to be fair. Haven't lost anything, haven't gained anything now, but we break hard into the first corner there. There's a lot of front wing going flying there. And we're going to get a tap from behind, and that is Raikkonen then hitting us round, and we do well to not spin the car. But now we are right at the back, basically. So, yeah, a good start then, curtailed by Kimi Raikkonen's first lap antics. Yeah, didn't really see him on the inside there. That's probably a bit my fault, to be honest with you. I just kind of turned into the corner. Didn't see him on the inside there, but that's kind of a frustrating start. We had such a good actual initial getaway there. We didn't gain anything. We didn't lose anything. It was a nice clean start. And yeah, and all of a sudden now we are lapping right out the back of this one. But we're on the back of George Russell then, going through into turns 10, 11 here. I think it could have been Bottas who picked up front wing damage because he seems to be dropping back quite a bit here from the rest of the pack though. Yeah, Raikkonen 3.7 seconds behind us. Obviously our former teammate Kimi Raikkonen when we used to be an Alfa Romeo driver. But yeah, look at that, look, our former teammate behind us, our current teammate in front of us here. I guess we're going to have to try and beat him, but we run into the back of our teammate then. So a disastrous start. We're going to have to make a dive into the pit lane then for a new front wing. And just how we didn't want to start then our new season here. But yeah, we're going to go on to a set of, I think we're going to take a set of mediums. Yeah, we'll go for a set of mediums there. Oh, but a disastrous start then for season 2 here, and yeah, a difficult start here. 6.1 seconds left to change front wing and all 4 tyres. That's pretty good. I'll take that here. But yeah, we're a long way now off the back of everyone. So this race has already become a bit of a write-off. Then we had the contact with Raikkonen in the first corner, and you know, well, I mean, you can see the tyre marks there. And then running into the back of Russell there. The incident with Russell, completely our fault there, just braked way too late, and yeah. Maybe we get some brake upgrades on the car, make it have a bit more stopping power. But yeah, come out the pit lane then on lap 2, we've got 14 laps to take these medium tyres, we have 14 laps left of the Australian Grand Prix. Yeah, a disappointing start then to season 2. We had such a great start to season 1 obviously, you know, finished 4th in our debut for Alfa Romeo. But yeah, you know, and then the highs of Abu Dhabi last time out. I mean, if you haven't seen that, spoiler alert, we finally got our first points on the board for Williams, a 9th place finish then. So yeah, the highs of season 1 into the lows then it would seem of season 2 here. But I mean, that's okay. We're okay. We're still in the race, and you know, we've just got to try and go from here there. But yeah, a really scrappy opening lap then from us. A less than ideal start to this season here, but this is good in a way, you know. This is valuable learning of the car. Basically, we have to kind of treat this race now like a test session, you know. We can see how the car handles in this one, and yeah, just kind of go from here, really. 23.3 seconds is the gap between me and Russell. So yeah, really running on our own in this one here. But yeah, we're just going to see then what we can do. We're just going to have to push this one as hard as possible. Yeah, we can really use this race as a test session because, I mean, we have nothing to lose in this race now after, you know, all of our lap 1 kerfuffles. But yeah, you know, we can really push the car this lap. We can really, you know, try and find the limits of the car, find what the car's, you know, good at, what the car struggles with. Yeah, as I say, just treat this race like a ginormous test session, and we will be good here. But yeah, you know, a unique track, Australia, very unique track. Has a bit of everything, to be fair. So this would be an ideal test track. The only problem is it's a temporary track, isn't it? They have to build it around public roads. So yeah, one of my favourite circuits, though, the Melbourne Street Circuit. Absolutely love this track. I think it's awesome. Every single year it's a cracking Grand Prix, and yeah, you know, on the F1 games I love to drive this one. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, but a difficult start then to season 2, but we can only go up from here then, I guess. We'll see what the gap is now on Russell. Yeah, 20 seconds, so we're getting about 3 seconds on Russell that lap bit. 20.6 was the gap at the start of this one here. Keep that in mind. 20.6. We'll see where we end up by the end of this lap here. So, yeah. I don't think we're going to be really fighting for anything today here. Probably just going to come home with a last place finish. You know, we could hopefully wait and see if we caught right up to the back of everyone, and then a safety car came out and everyone pitted. It would help us massively. Because obviously everyone would pit under the safety car if they haven't pitted already. and it'd pull us right up the order here. Remember, we had an absolutely crazy start to season 1 here. Obviously, we lost Albon and Bottas, so 2 front runners, 1 Red Bull, 1 Mercedes, within a lap of each other, didn't we? So yeah, really interesting start then to last season. But yeah, the Williams car does not feel too bad. Just remember 20.6, and we'll see where we are the next time we cross the line. But yeah, a good start then. Well, not a good start, but you know what I mean, a pacey start then to this race here. I think this strategy on going on to the mediums early with the front wing damage hasn't really been too bad in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, we'll just see where we are then this time out. Yeah, 18.0. That's 2.5 seconds out of Russell again. So yeah, I mean, if we're catching up to the back of everyone with this kind of pace, I mean, that's perfect. Hopefully, it is everyone and not just Russell. But yeah, I mean, last season we had a couple of really great comeback drives, didn't we? Germany got spun on the second lap after crashing in qualifying, dropped right down, finished that one P8. Russia as well, remember, spun on the opening lap by Giovinazzi, come home to finish 4th in that race, in our final race for Alfa Romeo before we jumped ship to Williams. But yeah, I think like at this point in the second season here, you see, because I was wondering whether or not to start the Road to Glory with Alfa Romeo or with Williams. I think at this point it does make me think, oh, maybe I should have started with Williams because I think I like the upgrades I could have had on the car. But you know, it's okay. We've still got well, a lot of time to go left in this season here. As soon as we start knocking down some of the, the major upgrades and the ultimate upgrades, I mean, we've got ultimate tire wear available to us. That's what we're going for next, isn't it? But as soon as we start getting, some of them in, I think we'll find ourselves catching up to the back of the pack quite a lot there. Yeah, look, another what's that? Almost 4 seconds then out the back of Russell on that lap here. So yeah, the car doesn't feel too bad around this circuit, but the only problem is, it's not if the car feels too bad, it's just our pace in comparison to everybody else. Because the car feels nice, but obviously it's not a fast-moving car, we know that. It's not pacey compared to really anyone apart from the Haas's and the Alfa Romeos. So yeah, we're just going to see then what we can do. Goal for this season will just be, focus on development. Try and upgrade the car as much as possible there, trying to get some big upgrades on this year, and yeah, just go from there. Maybe a point or two for this season as well would be pretty nice. I mean, we took advantage in Abu Dhabi of a race where we had really good pace, and then we just made a lightning start and then got lucky with Leclerc's issues, which caused him to be a lap down by the end of the race. But yeah, as I say, if we can have a few races like that this season, just try and lift ourselves with a couple of points, then that'd be good. We're not really in a constructors fight with anyone. I think we will be firmly at the bottom of the table, but yeah, who knows. Lap 7 then of the Australian Grand Prix, so half race distance already here, and yeah, we're just trying to pull ourselves off the back here. Just 11 seconds then between myself and George Russell here. So yeah, so far so good. The pace doesn't seem too bad. I think we should be okay, to make up a few places. But yeah, I think the contact with George really did ruin us in this race. The spin with Raikkonen was less than ideal, but that contact with George was just the final straw. And yeah, as we gain another 3/10. So we've got a Renault going slowly, a Renault going very slowly then. So who is that is moving slow? It's Bottas. Bottas, who qualified 3rd. And for the 2nd year in a row, he won't make it to the finish at the Australian Grand Prix here. Obviously, he's, well, basically his home race now. He has an Australian governor there. We've got a virtual safety car then. Bottas out of the race here for the 2nd season in a row. Only problem is, this is going to help a lot of people, isn't it? This virtual safety car, especially the people who are pitting. So all that advantage we've just worked on trying to get here is going to probably dash away from us. But yeah, I'm driving it on edge of the virtual safety car here as much as possible. So, yeah.
Virtual safety car is ending.
Make sure I don't get a speeding penalty.
VSC ending. Wait for green.
There we go, and we can get back underway with this one then. So, yeah, some cars coming back into the pit lane then. I don't, obviously not everyone's pitted under that VSC there, but that's a bit annoying for us. Some cars would have gained a bit of an advantage under that one. Yeah, but Bottas, as I was saying, second season running, then he'll be out of the Australian Grand Prix, his first race, for a very competitive runner. A nice start to the season for Bottas there, obviously qualifying third, but yeah, just an engine failure there. Not to be today in Australia for Valtteri Bottas. 12 seconds then is the gap to Ricciardo. Apologies on that one then. A doorbell rang in our house. But yeah, as I was saying then, lap 8. Disappointing start to the year then for Bottas. He becomes our first retirement of the season. It was our second retirement last year when Albon retired before him. But yeah, as I say, just trying to keep a nice pace in this one here, just trying to do what we can for Williams. It's not going to be a big result today, but we will push on regardless.
George is in the pits. George in the pits.
Here we go then, we are going to be able to undercut quite a few cars there. Also up into P15 then in this one, okay, so maybe we might not have too bad of a result there, as there's a bit of front wing. Now, that's a Ferrari's front wing. That is the end plate off a Ferrari car there. So is that Ricciardo or Vettel who's lost a piece of the front wing there? Lucky we didn't run that over. Yeah, 5 seconds then ahead of George Russell. He's not the car directly behind us, that is Kevin Magnussen. But yeah, you know, a decent start to this one. In the grand scheme of things, we've made up a couple of places. As it stands, I think there's still some cars to pit, but I don't know if we're going to be anywhere near them. So, yeah, you know, if we can finish this one 15th, though, on the road, then that'll be very good there. It just goes to show you, what could we have done then for Williams in this race? Because it does seem like, in the grand scheme of things, our pace isn't too bad there. There's a 10-second gap then to Daniel Ricciardo there. So I think Ricciardo might have the front wing damaging because he's just dropped behind Sainz and the McLaren, and I think the Ferrari is a much better car on paper than the McLaren. But yeah, so gonna see what we can do then for the rest of this race here. Only 5 laps to go after this one. So yeah, round the final corner then, we are going to make up a few more places here, I think. Can we get ahead of the Alfa Romeo on the exit of pit lane here? It's going to be really close here with Kimi Raikkonen, the man we made contact with earlier on there. He's going to push us right off the circuit there. Kimi, watch out, man, as he defends from us there, but I think that was a very naughty defence, really, from Kimi. He pushed us right off the circuit there, even made contact with us there. He had a lot of space to give. But, yeah, you know, I always think if you're coming out the pit lane, you should be the car that gives way. We're arriving here at huge racing speeds, obviously, down that straight. It's just a small braking zone then into the first corner, and then you turn in with quite a lot of speed. But, yeah, Kimi then, not giving that up at all there. And, as I say, pushing us fully off the circuit. So, naughty stuff then from Raikkonen. Not our first run-in within this Grand Prix then, as we've got a Red Bull car leading the Grand Prix here. But I guess all those we get our first track limits warning of the day. But if we try and stick with Raikkonen then in DRS to help us pull away from Giovinazzi, I think that would be pretty decent here in Australia. There's all back into the car, not liking that corner at all there. But yeah, so try and stick with Raikkonen then. That will be the goal today. I don't think we can line up a move or anything, but yeah, as long as we stick with him here and we gain time on Gio behind that. I'll take P13. I think that'll be all in all a very decent way to start the year. So, no, maybe we do have some pace then in this car because, I mean, you think we got spun round and then had front wing damage. We're 23 seconds behind anyone here and we're up to P13 here. So, yeah, you know, maybe this car has a bit more pace than it would seem on paper. As soon as we get that other rear downforce upgrade and that ultimate rear downforce upgrade, we will be good. But I think that's coming in then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 4 races time here. I have a little bit of a drought of 2 races I'm not overly keen on in Bahrain and China. And then yeah, there's, oh my word, up on the curbs a little bit there. The car sliding out, as I say, that rear downforce upgrade will come in handy for us in Bahrain. But yeah, so all in all, a pretty good start to this one. And yeah, you know, we're keeping up with Raikkonen pretty well here to the point where I'm wondering down the main straight if we could mount an overtake on Kimi Raikkonen. It'll probably be a big ask, but I mean, we're keeping up with him. He is on the hards, and we are on, well, fairly worn mediums at this point here, 10-lap-old medium tyres. We've still got 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix here, but can we mount an overtake on Kimi Raikkonen here? We're going to make sure we do have the speed to get around the outside of Kimi there, and we are going to make it stick there. We are going to get around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen and move up to P12 here, but Kimi is going to come back at us here. He's going to be on our inside for the next corner, but yeah, we are going to try and stick it through there. It's, oh, a little bit of wheel banging there with Kimi. Somehow no damage of that one there, but we are through on Raikkonen and up then into P12 here. But yeah, again, Raikkonen though coming back at us here. This is a fantastic scrap, and all of this is a P12 by the way. So you know, not even a points place there. We're battling out like Schumacher v Alonso here, but yeah, you know, a lovely bit of racing then through the first sector. Raikkonen will come out on top there, but I don't even mind. That was, as I say, a magnificent bit of car control from both of us here as we get our second track limits warning then of the race. Yeah, we do need to be careful then from now on. But here we're going to try and get up the inside of Raikkonen there. We're going to go way too deep though. We're going to slide on the grass. Raikkonen is going to get back through here, and here comes Antonio Giovinazzi as well there. So Gio will get, so we're going to dive him though at the penultimate corner there. We are going to get back through. But yeah, just caught a big slide there. Yeah, again, the rear downforce is just not there. We're going to move the brake bar forward just a tad. And yeah, we'll see what we can do then. But as I say, we do need to be careful with those 1 track limits warning left here. So we need to be very, very cautious then for the remaining 2 laps of this race here. But yeah, as I was saying, all in all, a fairly good Australian Grand Prix. I mean, I know a lot of it, you know, we didn't have much racing or anything. But yeah, I'll take a 13th, I'll take a 12th or 13th or 14th place finish. Yeah, I think our goal for the team is to end up inside of the top 18. So, you know, as long as we do that, then I think the team are going to be pretty jolly with us. But yeah, you know, a good drive today. Actually, you think we had all of that incident? So we've got yellow flags. It's a car behind us. It's a Haas that is going slowly, and I think that's going to be Romain Grosjean then out of the race there as we pick up a 3-second time penalty then for track limits. And that is really not going to help us there. I thought we took enough curb here, but it doesn't look like then we're going to be battling with Antonio Giovinazzi or Raikkonen then come the end of this race there. That's a silly mistake on our end. I thought I took enough curb, honestly, and I thought I stayed in enough for it to be safe there, but FIA. Obviously being strict there, we overstepped and we will get punishment for that. But yeah, you know, my fault. I'll wind up and say, well, I can't really blame anyone else, can I? Oh my word, the car at this point getting really, really difficult to drive. And yeah, we're going to push on then. Can we make an overtake on Raikkonen here? Raikkonen's holding us up at this stage, so this is not good for us. He's backing us right up, obviously. We need to get on with it, because we have a 3-second time penalty to deal with, so we do need to get on with it here. But, yeah, you know, the straight's going to be difficult to overtake on because there is yellow flags out here. And we'll see what we can do, but yeah, yellow flag then, green flag now, so we can push on. But we're going to have DRS on this next straight here. Can we get a move done then on Raikkonen? This is over, well, it won't be 12th place on the road, but yeah, we'll see what we can do then. As Raikkonen turns into us, we spin Raikkonen round. Kimi Raikkonen then, he makes contact with us, we spin him round there, and well, you know, I think I was a long enough way on the inside of him there, but Raikkonen then backwards after the contact between me and him there. Not much I could do. I mean, it was brewing all race contact between me and Raikkonen. We already had a fair bit of contact on the opening lap then. So, final lap of the Grand Prix, we just need to watch out. Our tyres are looking very worn then. But, yeah, 7-second gap then to Antonio Giovinazzi after that one. So that actually hasn't ended up being too bad for us here. Hopefully we can hold on to this P12 finish then. I think unless we go skidding through the stones or anything, we should be okay. But yeah, Raikkonen then turned in on us quite aggressively there. Maybe we weren't, you know, too far ahead to make a move. But I mean, you know, Raikkonen this whole race has been really, really pushy with us, you know. He spun us on the opening lap. He pushed us off when he came out of the pit lane there. We made contact while doing a bit of wheel-to-wheel racing there, but he has been really, really pushy with us this entire Grand Prix there. But as around the final corner will come one of the Red Bull cars. I don't know which one it is. It's Lewis Hamilton then, who wins the Australian Grand Prix, his first race for Red Bull. Then come the two Mercedes cars. Yes, Hulkenberg on the podium once more. Fourth place will be Charles Leclerc then in the Renault. I believe that's P5 for Alexander Albon. So a great race for him. Vettel will be P6, and then that'll be the Red Bull of Verstappen. In 7th, 8th, 9th, the two McLarens. 10th place, one of the Toro Rossos here. But we will pull it to the inside then to finish P12. A good result. A good result. Yeah, the team pleased with that one there. That was a good race there. The contact less than ideal, the penalties less than ideal. A dramatic opening race, but yeah, a good job for us there. Raikkonen, sorry, not Raikkonen. Russell goes up to 14th place as well. So I believe that means we won't be last in the constructors. No, we won't. We will be ahead then of Racing Point and Haas. Obviously, it's 0 points, but it, you know, it also counts your average finish. So, yeah, great job. Great job. I'm looking forward though to getting into the rest of this season. I think once the upgrades become applied, yeah, I think we'll all be pretty pleased once the big upgrades come into the car there. I'm not going to say anything on that one.
Had a bit of contact today. Who was at fault there? Well, thanks anyway.
Yeah, and all she comments on is the contact we had during that race. Yeah. So an interesting start to the season though. A good finish, P12. No points, obviously, but yeah, we will take that in our stride then. The next Grand Prix will be the Bahrain Grand Prix. Not really looking forward to that one, I will be fully honest there, as we need 1,500 points for that big upgrade. Yeah, Bahrain's a circuit I do quite struggle with, so not looking forward to that one. But we'll see what we can do. I think it's going to be a an interesting race yet again. Hopefully, we'll have a bit more pace going into that one as well. But yeah, all in all, very positive start to the season. As I say, you think we're 23 seconds behind everybody, and we clawed back P12 in the end there, and with a 3-second time penalty as well, and after making contact about 4 times. So, yeah, positive start to the season, I would say. It does show that we do have a bit of pace. So we'll see what we can do from here on out. But yeah, you know, looking forward then to the rest of this season, which is not something you hear me say often. But guys, that has been then episode 1 of season 2, the Australian Grand Prix. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. But until then, take care. Cheers.